is Alexander. Shabbat for three. Bingo!
Carter will get it for the win. Got it! He is hard to believe.
Here's Jordan.
Yes! The Magic, a 360 turn with the dribble. Magic down the middle. Gives underneath to Worthy. Slammed up. Third in the corner. Double fake.
Dime Dropper fam, I'm so excited to announce the first Dime Dropper Time Machine episode. Now, I always wanted to, when I started this channel, start breaking down old school footage in chronological order in a timeline as I was learning about each year of the NBA. Well, today's the first episode we're going to do, breaking down the 1969 All-Star Game and all the talent on display. Remember, if you haven't watched my series, Is the NBA Getting Better and Better? These players won't look as good to you as if you had watched that video because I explained all the rules and how the game has changed. So if you see, the dribbling, as I said, remember, hand on top of the ball, not fancy crossovers, was not allowed. Offensive fouls, shoving into people, stiff arming, also not allowed. So go check out that video, but I hope you enjoy this one. Take it away, Dime. What's up, guys? So today we're going to be looking at the 69 All-Star Game from Baltimore, Maryland, home of the Baltimore Bullets, the number one seed in the East this year in the regular season. They would end up losing to the Knicks in the conference in the first round in a sweep due to an injury to one of the players you're going to see in this game. If you look at the commissioner of the NBA there, Walter Kennedy, the Citizenship Award is now named after him. He was the commissioner before Larry O'Brien, who was the commissioner before David Stern. I really hope some of you guys knew that Larry O'Brien was the commissioner of the NBA. Now we're going to get to the introductions for the weaker Western Conference. Back in the 60s, the West was by far the weaker conference. Here we have Sweet Lou Hudson, sharpshooter from the St. Louis Hawks. Dick Van Arsdale, the original Phoenix Sun, the first Sun picked in expansion. The great Wilt Chamberlain of the Lakers in his first season with the ball club. The great Jerry Sloan. Look how young he was. Unbelievable. Rest in peace, Coach Sloan from the Chicago Bulls. Then we have the great Lenny Wilkens. In his first year with Seattle, he was traded for Walt Hazzard from the Hawks to the Sonics. The rookie, Elvin Hayes, leading the league in scoring as a rookie. And then, of course, Elgin Baylor. And then the Eastern Conference. Dave Bing from the Detroit Pistons, one of my personal favorites. Billy Cunningham, the star of the 76ers now that Wilt is gone. The captain, Willis Reed, who would go on the next season to win Finals MVP, and All-Star Game MVP. The 1968 All-Star Game MVP, Hal Greer, the leading scorer for the 67 Sixers. And now the ovation is for Gus Johnson from the Baltimore Bullets, the one that gets injured and doesn't play in the playoffs. You're going to see how big of an impact that is when you see him play, how good he is. Gus Johnson, 6'6", Akron, Ohio, 240 pounds.
At 6'8", 245 from the Bullets, Wesley Unseld.
And then one of the biggest ovations as well, Wes Unseld, also a Baltimore Bullet, the only player besides Wilt Chamberlain to win Rookie of the Year and MVP in the same season. That's what he would end up doing in this season. Nobody has ever done it again. The starters, Jerry Lucas from the Cincinnati Royals in his sixth season, sharpshooting big man and can rebound and defend. The great John Havlicek at small forward in his seventh season. The great player coach of the Celtics, Bill Russell, in his 13th and final season. Of course, the Celtics would go on to be the fourth seed, the lowest seed in the Eastern Division, to make the playoffs and win the whole thing after beating the Lakers in Game 7 in the Forum. And then, of course, the last two, the great Oscar Robertson of the Cincinnati Royals in his ninth season. And then the biggest ovation, Earl the Pearl Monroe, second-year man out of Winston-Salem State from the Baltimore Bullets. And now we start the game. So we look at Lenny Wilkens here for the West in the red, East in the white. I want to just show you guys one thing already. First of all, look at the way that they're playing defense in this game. They got their antennas up. Look, Earl the Pearl Monroe is off balance here. He's almost got his legs crossed. And Lenny Wilkens looks like he's, this is a lane of the basket in typical All-Star games where they don't play defense. But because these guys are actually trying out here, Earl sticks with him. He gets his right hand up to contest the shot. But look at this from Lenny Wilkens. He sees the ball going short. He comes near the basket or underneath the basket. He gets the ball back. And look at this. He fakes like he's going to go up. Bill Russell gets in the air. And look at, I know it's hard to see because there's no HD back then, but look at Lenny Wilkins' hand here. He slips the ball underneath the arm of Bill Russell and Elvin Hayes for the dunk. It's a great play by Lenny Wilkins. So now we have Earl the Pearl Monroe in the next play, bouncing it to Jerry Lucas. He gets a little handoff. And look, Lenny Wilkins elects to go underneath the screen, which gives Earl the Pearl Monroe this distance to shoot the ball. And that's all he needs. You can't go under on the Pearl. Tied at 2. Jerry Sloan here goes to Elgin Baylor. Baylor ends up going to Elvin Hayes. And now look at this. Hayes sets a screen. Look at Bill Russell right here, number 6 in white. Here he shows his defensive versatility. He's able to get onto the perimeter and try to do a job on Elgin. And look, he strips the ball. Elgin knocks it away recklessly. And here come the East the other way. Quick pass by Earl the Pearl Monroe. And look here what Oscar Robertson does. You can't really tell because they switch the angle. But look at this change of pace right there. Gets to the basket. Doesn't finish, but Jerry Lucas is there for the tip. Now we look at Elgin Baylor here. He tries to take Russell off the dribble. Russell with a little use of hands right here. The hand check era. Gets the step. Russell does a good job of staying with him. But Jerry Lucas is sagging off too much on Don Kojic. Elgin Baylor makes a great play. Don Kojic shows off the range. Don Kojic of the Rockets. Here's Russell to Jerry Lucas. Jerry Lucas, he's 6'10", but he can shoot that thing. Shoots it, back of the rim, falls right to the Pearl. Contested, no matter. That's the Pearl. And he started out hot. Here we go with Lenny Wilkins. By the way, a little use of hands there by the Pearl. He goes underneath the screen. And look at this right here. I'm going to rewind it 1 second. Bill Russell steps up. I don't know if he kind of stumbles on the Pearl's leg right here, but he kind of lunges forward. Lenny Wilkins changes his mind in midair to find Elvin Hayes right here. And look, this pass, there's a lot of white jerseys around this crowd. This needs to be a great, perfect pass. And it's slightly behind him, but it's just past Bill Russell. Great pass out of the shot to Elvin Hayes. I want you to see that again in live time. That's the second assist we've shown of Lenny Wilkins. Boom. Elvin Hayes is too good a finisher there. Here we have Oscar Robertson finding Bill Russell, who makes a move. Look how he makes the move right when he passes the ball. He's standing around like let's say there was a three-point line around it, or a elbow extended. He goes cross court to Oscar, immediately makes a move to the middle, and look at this instinct from Oscar. The second he passes the ball to Bill, he's already looking to move without the ball. Take a look. He comes right back for that give and go, that handoff. And look at Bill Russell. He turns his body so Don Kojic can't get back to Oscar Robertson. Oscar Robertson has a date with Elvin Hayes at the rim. And it doesn't matter. He's going to finish through contact. That's Oscar Robertson. Here we have John Havlicek getting a screen from Oscar. Now I want to pause this real quick because I want to see. I don't know if this is legal to stick his left leg out like this. And he's got 2 guys shielded, Jerry Sloan and Dick Van Arsdale. But take a look at Havlicek. He's got a quick first step. You think he's going to try to go up for the layup here maybe? You got a reach coming from the top side. But look at Havlicek. He sees plays a step ahead. Throws it behind his head to Bill Russell. Celtics fans in the 60s, you were probably used to seeing this a lot. There's not much footage of it. Look at that pass by Havlicek. Eyes in the back of his head. That's why he is John Havlicek. And speaking of him right here, keep an eye on John Havlicek right here as Oscar Robertson has the ball at the top of the key. Look at the way he moves. He's constantly moving. Now he sees this lane developing right here, this pocket. Now the question is, can Oscar throw this pass with, you got Elvin Hayes standing here with Bill Russell. He's out of frame right now, but Elgin Baylor is standing right here as well. If this pass is a little wayward, and look at Havlicek. He's putting his left arm up to indicate, yo, I want this pass right now. Jerry Sloan is on him too, so if you throw this pass behind him, then that's going to be picked off or deflected. And take a look at Oscar. So pinpoint. Perfect window. Passes it right down the middle in that bounce with that bounce pass. Take a look at that. Beautiful. Elgin Baylor doesn't know what's going on. And that's great off-the-ball movement from Havlicek. Here you have Earl the Pearl Monroe showing a use of hands. He passes it to Sloan, and take a look at this. He's hesitant, and then Russell swats it out of bounds. Here we have Billy Cunningham, who's just checked into the game, a power forward, 2-dribble pull-up, just showing off the range. I also wanted to show you guys Elgin Baylor here showing off the range. You know, we hear all about these guys couldn't shoot. Total bullshit. Here's the jumper. And now we have Oscar Robertson, and this is what makes Oscar Robertson one of the best players in history. He is so comfortable pulling up, going both ways on a dime. Here's one dribble. Take a look at how high his release point is and how high he gets off the ground. You're not blocking that. Right over Joe Caldwell. Here we have a fast break developing. Hal Greer bounce pass to Dave Bing. And look, Dave Bing stops. He sees Sweet Lou Hudson coming. But I think what he's more afraid of, in my opinion, he's got Wilt Chamberlain in his periphery. He makes a bounce pass to Gus Johnson. And Gus is hesitant. He's looking at Wilt. He fakes. And look at this. They're at a standoff right here. Wilt and Gus looking at each other. Gus very smartly takes one dribble back to create separation and shoots the bank shot off the glass. The fundamentals there are strong from Gus Johnson. Take a look. Wilt still gets up pretty high. He uses the glass beautifully. Take a look at this play right here from Elgin Baylor. Elgin Baylor is one of those guys that was described as having, the first guy to show hang time in the league. Take a look at this right here. Little ball fake there. Subtle. Very subtle. Take a look at this pass fake right here to Sweet Lou. Boom. Now he's up in the air. Sweet Lou Hudson is the one that's open. And look there. It looks like he's about to pass the ball to Sweet Lou Hudson. But take a look at this. He goes the other way. And even though that was a turnover, I just want to show you guys how cool it was because I have a feeling Elgin Baylor made more passes like this that actually were completed in his career. Because of, obviously the way people talk about him. But take a look at this. But Hal Greer's got active hands right here. 15 in white. He's got his left hand up, deflects it, and now we're off to the races. Billy C. He's got Gus Johnson on his left. He gives it to Dave Bing on his right. And one, a little hop. And that's a beautiful finish. You look at the East up 35-19. Take a look at this pass by Gus Johnson. Whoop! I want to see that again. A little Showtime action. And take a look at the pass after it as well. Boom. Eyes in the back of his head. Look at Billy C here. The way he turns, you think he's going to pass to Hal Greer, 15 in white. Take a look at this, though. He throws it over his shoulder to Dave Bing. Look at the skill of the players here. Oh, my God. Dave Bing kind of wasn't ready for it. He fumbled it a bit. Fakes, wants to pull up on the foul line. Instead goes to Gus, who misses. And look at the pace of the game. Jeff Mullins gets the ball, and we're immediately off to the races. That's how you run a fast break. Beautiful bounce pass to Joe Caldwell. But then look at how quickly Gus Johnson outlets the ball. Look how fast he did this. And a great pass as well by Gus, who's clearly showing he can pass the ball, even as a power forward. Boom. Slings it down the court. Billy Cunningham is scared of Wilt, his former teammate. They go to Hal Greer. Wes Unseld, foul line jumper. That's pretty. Now we have Willis Reed. Look at this. Fake handoff there. That subtle fake handoff. Dave Bing sets a screen. Will Chamberlain elects to go underneath, which is a terrible idea from this distance with Willis. Willis just turns to his right, takes one dribble, and pulls up. Here we have Joe Caldwell going to Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt goes to Don Kojic, and look at the block by Gus Johnson. He gets a piece of it. I want you guys to see that again. Take a look at this block from Gus Johnson. Gets up in the air. He timed it so well. And look at that tip pass. I think it's Jerry Lucas who did it. I'm not 100% sure. But look at this tip pass right here. Boom. Now we're off with Dave Bing. And take a look at this play right here. He's got Gus Johnson to his left. He's got Willis Reed to his right. And Jeff Mullins is on an island against them three. And look at what he does here. He takes a look right there at Gus Johnson. And look what he does. Whoop! Showtime! Dave Bing with the left hand going the opposite direction. Boom! That is beautiful. You got to have a feeling Magic Johnson may have watched some Dave Bing tape growing up in Michigan. Dave Bing, the first superstar of the Pistons. But here we go with Joe Caldwell. Jeff Mullins showing off the range here. Look how deep it was. He's a great shooter. Had a great 68 playoffs in which the Warriors upset the number 1 seeded Hawks in the first round. 44-33 to the East. You see Billy C here. Comes off the screen. Goes back to Willis Reed and then relocates to that short corner and hits the bucket. It's Billy C right there. You can see he's got that mid-range. I'm just going to let it ride right here for a little bit. Joe Caldwell getting picked up right at... And look, this is all-star game still. I have to remind you guys because the effort is so different. Van Arsdale goes to Wilt. You see all the movement without the ball. It's a totally different era. No standing around, no bullshitting. Miss, no good. Look at Billy C. Can't hold on to the ball. Wilt gets it. Finds Rudy LaRusso, Warriors all-star, former Laker. Joe Caldwell takes his screen. And look at this pass. Again, another nice pass out of the shot from one of these players. Look at Joe Caldwell. It's a very similar situation where Gus takes a step forward. And look at Rudy LaRusso. And you've got Billy C., who's ready to rotate. You've got Willis Reed right here. I believe that's Willis. Or Gus. No, it's Willis. This pass needs to be pinpoint. And it was perfect. Look at to the outside hand, the right hand of LaRusso on the way to the basket. That's a great pass by Joe Caldwell, who's not known for his passing at all. And take a look at Billy C. He's ready to rotate and pins it off the glass. So when you talk about white guys who can't jump, Billy C. was nicknamed the Kangaroo Kid for a reason. He had bounce. And take a look at this here from Wilt, though. He wastes no time. Gets the ball, gets in the post, Some of this could have been an offensive foul, the way they called the game back then, but he just gives Gus a little shove and scores. Now look at this pass by Earl to Pearl Monroe. Take a look at the screen from Gus. Right here, a window and a pocket forms for the bounce pass. I'm thinking that's what he's going to do. But take a look at this. What in the world was that? So let's look at that again because I had to watch this like 5 times back to see it. It looks like he flings it with his left hand, but he kind of just backhands it as he grabs it with 2 hands here. But he throws it over the arms of Dick Van Arsdale there. And to Gus, like, look at how fast he had to do this. That needs to be a bullet pass with his hands going up like that. And take a look at the catch by Gus. Right? Like, the hand-eye coordination there is crazy. Boom. I need to show you that one more time because this is dime dropper. This is a ridiculous pass by Earl to Pearl Monroe. Just tells you the skill he had. Boom. Quick. He relocates to get it back. And he goes between the legs. I mean, these guys just had the flair, even when it wasn't popular, to be fancy like that. Willis Reed battling, keeps it alive. Goes to Jerry Lucas. He missed a jumper earlier. We'll show you one he made there. Here's Elgin Baylor trying to go baseline. Jerry Lucas does a good job cutting it off. He goes to Wilt. Joe Caldwell comes. And look at how quickly they move the ball here. Swing from Sweet Lou Hudson. And take a look at Elgin Baylor. Right? Elgin Baylor is supposed to have one of the best quick steps to ever play the game. He's got Bill Russell, the best defender in history, on him here. Look at this. Gets the step. He's already by. But take a look at Russell. Look how high his hand goes. Damn near over the rim. So if Elgin had gone up on this side, he probably would have gotten blocked. But look at this. He shoots. He goes up with that left hand on the up and under. The hang time is unreal there. Let's take a look at this from Elgin again in live time. Beautiful move by him. Boom. Up, under, and just gets it underneath the arm of Bill Russell. Let's take a look at Oscar here. And take a look at John Havlicek again. As Oscar stops and all eyes are on him, John Havlicek is ready to make this backdoor cut. And that's what makes John Havlicek one of the best players of all time. Because he's so instinctive and he's so great off the ball. And take a look at this pass by Oscar. He's got Wilt Chamberlain standing underneath here. But look at it. Right to where he needs to be. You cannot make this pass behind him because Lou Hudson is right there. He needs to get to that outside hand. He does to his left hand, which is able to be ready for his right hand to come for the layup. But here's Sweet Lou Hudson. Look at that ground he made up. He was great on the recovery there. He forces a miss. And then look at this pass from Wilt Chamberlain, full quarterback. That's one of the best passing big men in history. And that tells you the skill of Wilt Chamberlain. We're going to come back to this play a little later. Take a look at this from Willis. He's got Elgin Baylor on him here. That's a mismatch. 2 dribbles. Elgin reaches, which is a terrible mistake to make with Willis. Willis turns over his left shoulder. That's an easy fade, virtually uncontested. Look at the elevation he gets as well. Bucket. All day long. Hondo looking around here. And take a look at this from Oscar. He's going to try to go baseline, but look at Wilt Chamberlain coming for the help. Sends the shot. Could have been a goaltend, but we're going to play on with it. Wilt Chamberlain, so intimidating, one of the best rim protectors in history. Elgin, good kick to Joe Caldwell. And this is one of the brilliances of Bill Russell. Look at the ability for him to bring up the ball, and before the defense can get set. Now Oscar, he finds Willis Reed, 8 feet. What do you think is going to happen? I don't know what Wilt's doing there, but that's all starts with Bill Russell being able to run the break himself as a 6'9", 6'10 center. And then look at this. Here's the genius of Bill Russell right here in one play. Bill Russell guarding Wilt Chamberlain, and Bill Russell immediately turns into the box out right here. Now, the thing about Bill is he's the greatest break-starting big man in history, and I'll tell you why. He goes up for the rebound, and immediately when he gets the rebound, look at the instincts of the 60s players. This is a fast-paced era. Look at Oscar and Hal Greer. They're already ready to jet. And that's the disadvantage of taking long shots back in the day with no three-point line, is you force long misses. Look where Russell gets the ball. He's almost at the foul line. And look at the way he gets it, and he's already looking up. He's not looking just to grab it and then, where's my point guard? Let's slow it down. He's looking up. And look how quickly he releases the ball. Within a second of him hitting the ground, the ball's already off his hands. And that sets the tone for the break. And now he's got Hal Greer, one of the best point guards in the league, probably a top 20 point guard in history, who's been an all-star this whole decade, running a break with Willis Reed to his right and Oscar to his left. He makes let's take a little look at that. I think he looks at him like he's going to fake it and go to Willis, but he ends up going straight the other way to Oscar, takes the bump, lays it in plus the foul, and look at the flamboyance of the official there. The 60s refs always giving some good theatrics. And I want to show you this play from Elgin Baylor here, a play that we saw from Kobe and D. Wade, guys like that. You see it all the time in today's league. Take a look. Pump fake, gets Reed in the air, leans in, and draws the foul. And there's something signature to Elgin Baylor his signature twitch. Take a look at it, guys. As you see, 10 times an All-Star out of his 11-year career. The only year, I believe, was 65, where he was injured that whole season, or a lot of that season, I should say. Lakers still somehow ended up making it to the finals because of Jerry West's brilliance. And by the way, if you're wondering where Jerry West is, he's injured for this game. Nate Thurmond didn't make the team somehow, even though he's one of the best centers in the league, and was Rudy LaRusso's on his in this All-Star game, and Thurman was the best player on the team. And Zelmo Beatty of the Hawks, averaging like 20 and 13, didn't make the team. So if you're wondering the talent that's not here, it just shows you how great the late 60s was, and that we need to stop being such disrespectful, ignorant pieces of shit and give them the credit that they deserve. Now I'm going to show you a very modern-looking play here. Willis Reed sets a screen for Oscar Robertson, and I want to show you guys this hesitation right here. Just that little hesitation, that in and out, look how much space it created for him. Remember, he can't put his hand on the side of the ball. He can't carry. He can't do a hezi where he brings his hand underneath the ball. He needs to keep his hand over the ball. And look at this. Hezo, look at the separation he's created from Elvin Hayes here. And now he gets to a spot for that mid-range, and that is a layup for him. Now we have Elvin Hayes. And look at Gus Johnson. Again, the timing on poor Don Kojic. He's gotten swatted twice by this guy. Look at that block. And look at him on the run. Dave Bing. This is how you run a fast break. You fill the lane, left-handed layup. The athleticism of one Gus Johnson on display, ladies and gentlemen. And now here's Earl the Pearl Monroe. And I want to show you guys this because look how hard it is to dribble full speed with your left hand with those rules. Even one of the best ball handlers in the league looks a little funky dribbling it with it, Earl the Pearl. But look, he stops on a dime. He pump fakes. Sloan gets in the air. He leans in and finishes with the contact. That is Earl the Pearl Monroe in his finest hour. Such a great player. Jeff Mullins into Wilt Chamberlain here in the post. Wilt looks for the cut of Jeff Mullins. But look at Gus Johnson, one of the best defensive forwards in history. Look at this. Gets his hand on the ball, and we're off to the races. And look at this by Earl the Pearl Monroe. There's a little street ball for you right here. Take a look how he spins here. Whoop! And then look, it's like a yo-yo here, the way he like kind of throws the ball ahead of him to step into the pass. And look at Gus. He's made the defensive play on the other side, and look how quickly he jets. I want you guys to pay attention to 25 in white. Look at him. He's already gone, and look at this pass. Whoop! Flings it with his right hand down the court to Gus Johnson. That's the Bullets connection. That's beautiful basketball. Here's Sweet Lou Hudson to Wilt. Looking back for Sweet Lou. Another great pass out of the shot as he notices Russell's in the air. Gets it to Wilt, and look at Wilt. Just yams on Gus Johnson there. Look out below. Let's take a look at that again. Boom. Almost done here, ladies and gents. Joe Caldwell goes to Jeff Mullinger on this left elbow. Hands it back off to him. And look at Lou Hudson here. A backhanded, right-handed shot over Havlicek. Look how close Havlicek was to blocking this, too. Havlicek has a great wingspan. Take a look at this. Great little nifty finish. I guess we're going to let it ride here. This East up by 6, 108 to 102. The East would go on to win this game. Sorry for spoiling. Take a look at this. Boom. Oscar Robertson thinks he's got a lane to the basket, and Wilt Chamberlain absolutely stuffs him. I want you guys to take a look at how high he was. Boom. Wilt Chamberlain. And then Joe Caldwell tries to go deep. Earl the Pearl Monroe picks it off. He's got no resistance there, just slapping the ball ahead of him. And from 8 feet, I mean, that's just money. You can't stop that. You got to step up on him there if you're Wilt Chamberlain. Here's Oscar Robertson again. He stops the dribble because Wilt. Look at the ability I've shown you guys of Wilt and Bill Russell to go out and guard guards and forwards on the perimeter. That's just what makes them so great, amongst other things as well. Here we have an injury scare. Now, this is why I'm showing you this, because I want to show you guys how hard these players went in these games. Look at Gus Johnson. Look at number 27, Joe Caldwell's right foot here. It gets tangled with Gus Johnson. He hits the floor hard. And that's tough because look at the shoes he's wearing, one. The recovery tech is not as good. These guys are going hard in an all-star game. Like, this dude's in Chuck Taylor's right now. And take a look at it here. You can't really see it because Joe Caldwell's right foot is out of frame. But he falls down, and the most incredible part is this wasn't the injury that ruled Gus Johnson out for the remainder of the season in playoffs. He still got back onto this court and sunk 2 free throws like the champ that he is. Let's take a look at it again. Rest in peace, Gus Johnson. Rest in peace, Wilt Chamberlain. Rest in peace, Hal Greer. If I'm forgetting any other ones, please let me know. Elgin Baylor recently, Havlicek. You know, we're going to keep this memory alive. This is going to be one of the many videos we do. As you see Gus Johnson knocking down the free throws. The East would go on to win. Who do you guys think won MVP? Judging by the footage, you think it was Oscar Robertson, maybe Willis Reed, maybe Earl the Pearl Monroe. It was Oscar Robertson. This was my first Dime Dropper Time Machine. I really hope you enjoyed it. I really hope you enjoyed watching the talent in the past. I hope you got a better idea of how good it was. The Celtics would go on to beat the Lakers in the finals. This was my first Dime Dropper Time Machine. Thanks so much for joining me. Let me know what you thought could have been done better, what you loved that I did. I couldn't get colors on the screen. I just couldn't find a program yet that contained colors that I can draw on the screen while screen recording the video and using my voiceover. But the next video I'll do is going to be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's first game in the NBA as we start really looking into our GOAT candidates with footage together. So I'm so excited to do that so you guys can make your own opinions of Kareem's game and his career as it goes on. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Let me know what you think. Subscribe for more content like this. It will not be the last. Subscribe and follow me on all platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Dime Dropper Pod. Thank you so much and peace.